Hey, 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 and welcome back. You are now listening to another episode of It's All About Evolving, and I'm your host, Kathy Harwell. Joining us today is Tanya J Miller. She's an author, speaker, and life coach. Welcome, Tanya.
Hello, and I am excited to be here, Kathy. Excited to be talking with everybody on It's Evolving today. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So, Tanya,
Mm-hmm.
about you?
Sure. So, like you said, I'm an author, speaker, coach, strategist. I basically I help people and organizations to figure out how to fit the puzzle pieces of life together so they can do life right and they can do it well. I do that because I want you to be able to do life and leadership unapologetically on purpose because, we all have a purpose. We all have an assignment. We all have a reason. And so I want to help you to figure that out. Whether you know it or not, it's there, it's in you. And so I want to make sure that you're doing it, and that you're doing it unapologetically, on purpose, which basically means you're doing it the best way you know how because it's who you are and what you're supposed to be doing.
That is awesome. That's so awesome. And I love what you're doing because I also listened to I was watching your YouTube channel, but first I want to get into your book.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So this morning, I was having one of those mornings where I got up. I was all in my feelings, put it that way. I don't know why, but I got up that way. Meditation wasn't working. I journaled. So that was like, nothing was working. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just go listen to your book. And I started listening to it. And I got as far as chapter 7. I didn't finish the whole complete thing. And in that chapter, you spoke about, it was about the mind and how we don't tend to we don't confront people. Put it that way. We're not what's the word?
Confronting.
No. Confrontational. Yeah. There you go. And I'm that type of person. Like if something goes wrong, I'll go aside, I'll think about it, and then I'll come back and I'll deal with it. You're not going to get me, I'm going to get you and all that. No, that's not me. And it's funny enough, I was like, oh, when you spoke about like what could trigger that and why that is happening. And I was like, oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So why did you decide to write this book? That's my first question.
Yeah. So, I'll be honest, we're in the middle of some crazy life-changing world, country-altering things right now. And so it's going to affect not just how we are living today, but it's going to affect our tomorrow and our thereafter. And it'll put us in a new normal. And so literally, I had some life-changing, shifting things happen to me. Probably it's been close to at least 9, if not 10 years ago, early on in my marriage. Basically, it was at the start of the last crisis, the last economic crisis, the recession. Wow. So many things had happened. I was newly married. I just moved across the country. So no family. That means no friends either. I was, I didn't have the liberties and financial means as I was used and accustomed to because I just moved there. So I didn't have a job set up. And then, just I'm familiar not knowing my bearings and things. So that's kind of precept or behind it. But as time started going on, the recession got worse. And I don't think anybody expected the recession to be like it was or to hit. And for the area that I lived in, it didn't go away. Like it still is affected. 2020, it's still affected by the crisis from back in 2008. And so imagine how it was right when it was happening. And so if you know anything about the crisis from 2008, it was real estate. Okay. The family I married into, they had just started a real estate company. My husband was a realtor.
Oh my God.
Y'all catching it. And Tanya didn't have a job. Okay, y'all catching it now. Literally, so that was a major struggle. Literally, the first 7 years of my marriage between my husband and I, we were laid off or unemployed 6 times in 7 years. Literally, I would get a job, he would get let go. He would get a job, I would get laid off. You like, do you really just like want to keep us down in the pit below? Like, can we above water? Can we at least peek out the window? Like, it was never any of that happening. And then in the midst of that, so like I said, no friends, no family there for the bulk of that either. Eventually, my brother, he was in the Navy. He got stationed there. So he was there eventually. So that helped some, bringing home some homeness to it. But, that was a lot of it. And then one of the jobs I had, I dealt with racism. And I'm from Texas. So I assumed I had dealt with the crazy country, prejudice stuff before. Nope, not at all. I had not until I experienced. And I was like, what? Like, literally, like some down south type stuff, like talking to you like, will you, yeah. And so I was like, wow. But that was new for me, experiencing that, processing that. And it was very traumatic because it wasn't a one-time thing. It was happening over and over again. And I couldn't do anything about it because it was happening on a job that I needed. Because remember, like I said, my husband was either laid off or unemployed, so I had to stay. So that was happening. And then I was dealing with major health challenges, and it was very emotional because the challenges I deal with, they're chronic pain illnesses. And so I don't know about you, but first of all, when you don't feel good, you already don't like talking to nobody. But when you in pain, you really don't like talking to nobody. So there was a lot going on. And so I never had time to unpack it. And so when it all just literally erupted, exploded, I was like, so yeah, I'm going to go to therapy. I'm probably checking myself in, but at minimum, I'm going to go to therapy. Let's go twice a week. Yeah, let's go twice a week. Yeah, and help on all of this, because you've been through a whole lot. And I think even acknowledging that I've been through a whole lot and I needed to unpack it, I needed to work on it, I needed an outlet, I needed some help. I can't do this by myself. I need a support system. I need people that are going to be there, both professional and friends. And because at that point, friends became family. And so that's what I did. So I began to work on myself and work through it. But one of the things that I realized in the process of my my therapy and my healing was I had stopped writing. And so I had a blog. Like you said, you saw my YouTube channel. So before YouTube, there were emails, because that's how long I've had Talking with Tanya. I've had it for over 15 years. And so I off and on back then, it was emails that I was sent. And so I hadn't been doing them as much. And so I started back doing the Talk with Tanya emails and things as well back during that time. But I also, I'm gonna bring it. So now I'm gonna bring it home. I started writing to myself in my old Sprint phone. Now, as I think about it, I think I was probably going to just write a post about it, but never did I imagine it was going to be what it ended up being. But I started writing. I was like, so I want to write down, how to talk to somebody that may be going through what I'm going through, how to deal with mental illness, how to deal with trauma, how to deal with, traumatic experiences, disasters, depression, anxiety, just, how do you talk to that type of person? Then I'm going to, I want to write down how to help somebody so that they never feel like how I feel, and they can know how to get out of their own head, and they can know how to jump back into life, and they can know how to not stay stuck or when they're feeling like this, like how they need to figure out how to get unstuck. And so I just started writing it out, and that was it. Like I put it away. That was it. And, finished working through everything and all that. Like I said, got back, doing Talk with Tanya, like, shoot, whatever, relocated and stuff, came back home to Texas, and it was like a tap on the shoulder. And it was like, so you remember that book? I said, what book? Like, what book? And like, you know that what you were writing in your Sprint phone? First of all, go find that phone. I was like, oh my God, I don't know where it is. But go find that phone, and that's your first book. And I was like, what? Yes, that's your first book. It's going to be called Mind Matters. It's going to be helping people to get out of their head and jump back into life. Matter of fact, you're going to do a journal too, because you're going to help them to do the work as well so that they can get their mind right and they can keep their mind right. So yeah, that's your first project. Go on and pull it out and go on and start the business that you already been doing together and make it do what it do, because this is why you're here. This is your purpose. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm writing a book, Mind Matters, and there we go. So yeah, like that was where it came from. That's how it happened. But you know, I knew I did not want anybody to feel like that, and I knew I wanted to help them. And so, you know, literally, I still pull on some of those same tips even today. Like I did a post the other day talking about how, with everything going on, it's all unexpected, it's unwanted, it's unplanned. And how do I not get overwhelmed? How do I not get stuck? How do I not let this get all in my feelings, like you said, in my
head?
Type of way. And I had to pull on my own stuff and was like, okay, take a breather, it's gonna be all right. No, this is not what you wanted. You were thinking way too far in advance, because my truck had broke down on me. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm not gonna have to pay like thousands of dollars to get it. I'm gonna have like how am I gonna get it worked on? Because what if they're not open? Like I'm thinking, and bring it back.
Yeah, you're not there yet.
About you don't even know what. Let the tow truck man, let AAA come first. You know what I'm saying? And so I pulled my own stuff out because it wasn't planned. It wasn't wanted. I didn't want to be stuck in the middle of COVID-19 in a parking lot where my truck stopped and not knowing what was, because I was like, is AAA even working? Like, are they allowed out after 8? Like, but I was like, oh my God, am I going to get in trouble from breaking curfew because I'm not in the house? Because the truck's not I was like, you know what? Bring it back. You have a whole excuse.
Yeah.
You got a whole reason.
Much right now.
So I use my own stuff still today, and it works. It's applicable. It's practical, because that's how I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be practical for anybody to be able to use it and to be able to figure out how to get out of their head. So I know I probably answered your next 2 to 3 questions in my first answer.
You did.
We can go to your fourth one.
You answered all, because I was going to ask you the title, and you said it all. But what I wanted to add to it, though, it's good sometimes. Like sometimes people think that because of what we do, or we're always positive, that we don't get these thoughts either, and you're always happy, and not that, people do get those thoughts. So when it's like I was all in that mood this morning and I was trying to get myself out, and I was just so happy that I actually found the book. And I got as far as chapter 7, and that's the chapter that really helped me, like, okay, Kathy, not that serious, okay?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we are people too. And I think if you are a person that is any type of a leader, a business owner, a supervisor, a parent, whatever place where you hold a title or a function where people look up to you, understand and know it's okay to, number one, have a moment. It is very much okay to have a moment. It's very much okay if that moment does not go, things don't resolve after that moment, to get some help, to talk to somebody, to get some resources, to do whatever you need to do so that you can continue being who you were supposed to be on purpose, because there's nothing wrong with it. Like, if you were thinking, if you're a listener or a watcher of Kathy's show, and you think Kathy always got it together, no, that she would be able to have her platform and be able to talk about the things she talks about and to be able to be what she is for you if she didn't have life happen to her. It's just how she chooses to manage it, how she chooses to, work through it, and her coping techniques and tools and the things that she does to be able to pivot from them happening. And that's where she is able to help you guys. And so, yeah, like, no. Instagram, sometimes it's a lie. That's a whole lie. They don't have it all together. No, they don't. Kathy don't have it together. Tanya don't have it all together. If you thinking everybody has it all together, so you think you have to have it all together, that's a whole lie. No, you do not need to think that you need to have it all together, because we are human. We're never gonna have it all together all the time. That's crazy. So don't feel bad if you don't. If you are someone that needs help, even just figuring out this new normal, and you think everybody that you're seeing in your virtual happy hours and in the virtual DJ dance party, that they all have to do it straight, like, no, like, know that you can get some help and you can talk through and work through whatever you need to, whether it's choosing to listen to my book, Mind Matters, like Kathy did, or is going even further. There are amazing resources out there. I'm an advocate day one, but I'm even the more an advocate right now. There are amazing resources that are out there. There's actually a online support system, like where you would normally go and join physically in support groups, like in different community centers and stuff. There's an online presence for one called intherooms.com. So that's great. There's still EAP, where if you work for a company, EAP is free. Those are free sessions as well. So literally, don't stay in the middle of in your own head, in your feeling stuck. There are ways, there are resources, there are tools, there are tips, there are people out here like me and Kathy that are willing to help you and willing to guide you. But there's even more people that can take you even further. So yeah, let's not stay stuck in 2020, even if it feels like in the middle of a sticky situation. Let's not stay stuck.
Thanks for sharing that. And before you spoke about a little bit about the challenges you have, but my final question is, what is the biggest obstacle you face in your life, in your own life? And how did you overcome it? Because this show is all about evolving, and it's about sharing your biggest obstacle and how you overcome it.
I think, honestly, even with what you said, the show is about evolving. So I feel like you continue to evolve. So you continue in life to have different things that you have to get over. And so what may be a big obstacle when I was 10 may not be a big obstacle later at 20, because something else has hit me, something else has happened, because I've evolved and I've been able to figure out how to manage it and to be able to work through it. And so if we're talking present day, I'll just be transparent with you guys. My biggest obstacle right now is loss. In the last probably year and a half, I lost count of how many people that I have lost. And it's been a lot. And so some of them have been friends that, we've just been friends with. Some of them have been friends, their parents or somebody like that. And I was close to them that way. Some of them have been, distant relatives. And then some of them have been immediate. In the middle of COVID, I've had 2 distant family members that have passed. One pretty close with, but because of everything, there's no services, or if it is, it's not the traditional. But in that, it still adds to the number of my year and a half of grief and loss that I haven't been having to process. And so that right now is it for me. In that time period, I've lost my sister, which is my best friend, and I didn't get to say goodbye. But that was a challenge, and it was an obstacle. But from that situation, when my grandmother fell a few months later, and I knew then whatever was going to happen, I had to face it. So knowing I was still grieving, but I knew that, and I was still in the middle of loss. I had to be able to face it because I didn't want to not be able to say goodbye like I wasn't able to with my sister. And so I faced it head on, but it's still a process. And so I'm still working through that obstacle of loss and grief right now. And I'm doing the work. And I am evolving as it and from it and because of it. So, I can definitely relate to anybody that may be in the middle of any challenges right now if they're being affected by COVID, of where they have a family member that, is in a nursing home and they can't visit them and they're on the tail end, or if they're in the hospital, not even related to COVID, but they can't go there and be there with them, or, if they were having IVF and IVF got canceled because all of them got canceled because of COVID. Like, there is so much that people don't even realize of how it's being affected, and it's hurt and it's causing so much pain. And so I get it all. I get it. If you having a family member trying to figure out how that passed and trying to figure out how to even just bury them the right way, like send them off in a homegoing service the right way. Like, I get it. I get it all from what I was going through prior and still what's happening now. So, what I can tell you from my journey is that it's a journey. It does not happen overnight, but it's an obstacle. And because it's an obstacle, it's one that you will get over. It's one that you will overcome, and it's one that you will eventually see the other side of it. And so if I can encourage you, know that you'll get over it, you'll overcome it, and you'll see the other side of it. And from it, you're going to continue to evolve into the person that you're supposed to be, unapologetically, on purpose. You're going to find purpose even in the midst of it. And so just encourage you guys to do that. I'm telling you, I'm in the middle of it, but I know there's going to be another side. I know I'm going to get over it, and I know I'm going to overcome it. And I know it's going to make me continue to evolve, and it's going to make me continue to be the better person that I'm supposed to be on purpose. So that's how I'm able to walk through it, even through it all.
Yes, you are. You're going to get through it. You are. And then I was listening to something recently from TV Jakes. I listen to him a lot too. And he was talking about the struggles. Like, sometimes we're going through the struggles and we think that we're the only one and God is not there, but he is there. Like, we tend to see the glorious part of things and not see the struggle. And I'm telling you, it's so sad. I totally understand what you're going through, but you will make it through, and you will grow through this, and you're going to come out stronger than ever.
Absolutely. I mean, even in the middle of it, I am, I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys if I wasn't knowing that I may be in it, but I don't have to let it take me out. I don't have to let it make me stuck. I don't have to let it allow me to get in my own head and take and not want to be a part of life. So I may be in it, but I've learned to use my own tips, tools to know how to get stuck. I've learned from it from the first time. So yeah, I'm overcoming for sure. It's some pain right now, but I know how to it. The struggle might be real, but my purpose is even realer.
Yeah, and you're here for a reason.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And where can we find you?
So as I mentioned, I have a blog. It's called Talking with Tanya. That is on social media under Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So that's Tanya. I also have a website, as we mentioned as well, TanyaJMiller.com. That is where you can find all my links, but that's where you'll be able to find information on my coaching, information on strategy sessions, information if you want to book me for speaking. Hey, you might have a virtual conference you want me to come be at. I'm down. So check it out at TanyaJMiller.com. Also on there, there'll be a link, but you can also go directly to shop.TanyaJMiller.com. And that's where you can get if you're looking at us on YouTube, you see my shirt that says "The Purpose is Real." So that is my message. Yeah, I have message merch that reinforces the message that I talk about. So this is one of them, a design. It's a message sheet, but I also have it as a message button as well. This one is actually very popular, but I have message merch at shop.TanyaJMiller.com. My books are there. The journals are there. All the message merch is there at shop.TanyaJMiller.com. If you decide you want to shop, I probably want to tell you a little hookup. If you go to bit.ly, all caps, join fam, you get 20% off your first order. So I want to hook you up if you join the fam. But if not, and you want to go directly to Amazon, you can get the books in print, digital audio, because I'm sure that's where you were able to listen to them because I love audiobooks. So I'm not mad. If you go to Amazon and me are cool. I got a whole Prime account, so I get it. And they're also and then the journals are just in print, and then also on Barnes and Noble. And then I have classes online on life and leadership as well at school.TanyaJMiller.com. So check that out. And last but not least, I have a mixtape, y'all. I'm not a rapper, but I have a mixtape. Talking to Tanya over a dope beat is pretty cool, pretty interesting. So Talking with Tanya, the mixtape volume 1 is on all digital outlets. So feel free to stream, download the whole 9. Just don't expect me to be rapping. I'm not rapping.